Well, hello, everyone. It's been a minute since we did one of these live streams, but today I am really delighted. We have two incredible sopranos, both with very different, but I think just gorgeous voices. So I want to welcome the lovely Giorgia Fumanti and as well Hollie-Anne Clark. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
Thank you.
I have enjoyed both of your music for a long time, and the single that you did, Holly, I Am What I Am, and Giorgia, your new album on Cinema Collection. I've been listening to them over and over again, so this is a real treat. Can we start? I'm assuming that most people already know you, but if they didn't, what would you say? How would you describe a little bit about your sound and who you are as an artist? Let's start with Giorgia, and then we'll go to Holly.
Hi, everybody. Hello. It's a nice, once again, it's very nice to be with you and talk with you and all the audience. How can I describe myself? So I was born in Italy years ago, and then I discovered my voice in a church choir. And 20 years ago, I moved to Canada, where I met my manager. I signed with a major record label in New York, and I released 13 albums to now, and travel basically in all the continents to sing. So I had the pleasure and the honor to live of my passion, and I have this classical voice, but I sing everything that touches my heart. Mm-hmm. And basically, I'm very free in the in the music I do, because, as I said, I use my classical voice, natural classical voice, to sing all the songs that touch my heart, especially movie themes and this kind of music. It's the one that more that I love to sing.
It's great, Giorgia, and I think your voice is so kind of otherworldly. It's just beautiful. Holly, how about you?
Sure. Okay, so if you haven't met me before, I'm Holly. I am originally from England, not far from London. I lived in London for a little while, and I was singing there. And then I came to Wales, to Cardiff, about 10 years ago, to study singing at the Music Conservatoire here. And then I never left. So I haven't traveled as far as Giorgia, but England to Wales is not too far. But I'm still here and enjoying singing here very much. I also went and studied musical theatre for a while. And I, like Giorgia, I trained as an operatic soprano, but I really, always had a passion for musical theatre as well, and that remained with me from a very young age. And and I like to, as she said, I like to sing things that move me and that I connect with and that I can communicate, and that I enjoy. So rather than sort of putting myself in a box and saying this is what I do, I like to sing things that I like, and then hopefully that comes across when people listen.
I like that. And you too, Holly, your voice is so rich and just so beautiful. So tell me a little bit, you both have released new music, and I'm always interested because especially in this genre, we cover a lot of the same songs as artists. So tell us, what is it about these songs that spoke to you and that made you want to sing them? So Holly, let's start this time with you.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah. So it was "I Am What I Am," which is my new single, which came out. There it is. There's me. That picture, I have to say, took a while to get. That was me and my partner who were throwing rose petals at me whilst we had a fan going. So yeah, I mean, it was quite tricky, but actually we got a good shot. So yeah. So "I Am What I Am." I've always loved big anthems, and this is like a musical theatre 11 o'clock number at the end of the show. You know, it's a really strong anthem type of song, and it's taken on other meanings, hasn't it, when it's been performed by, you know, famous singers like Shirley Bassey and everyone that's done a cover of it. But I guess I was attracted to it because, you know, I know it so well, and I've always loved the song. And it's actually been featured on an advert recently. I won't mention the company because they're quite a big company. I don't want to promote other businesses, but yeah, it was on an advert on television, and yeah, I heard it, and it'd been covered again by a really great singer, and I can't remember her name, but it's a really, really amazing cover. And I just thought, you know what, this is an iconic song, and you know, I really want to cover it. And then I kind of had the idea because, you know, I'm all about promoting diversity and supporting, you know, people in whatever they want to do. I mean, I teach myself, I teach a lot of different people, different voices. And I wanted to use the song to kind of show, you know, diversity in the song as well. So that sort of was incorporated in the video. But yeah, that's really where it came from. And yeah, I feel like, I hope that it's taken on its own kind of originality with me, that it doesn't sound like I'm, you know, done somebody else's version. I wanted to make it my own version.
I don't know if I've actually heard that one before, but I love the message of it, and it starts slow and then you really get into it. And the video is gorgeous because, like you said, you do have all these different kinds of people you have, and then it's revealed at the end. I think one of them is like a guitar player. You have some dancers in there. So just a really wonderful message. Giorgia, how about you with your new album, Cinema Collection?
Yes, my 13th album, and you know, I sing some original songs, but sometimes there are some classical that you still want to do it because even everybody did it. They are so beautiful, like Over the Rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
You want to do it too. And I have this chance to have this beautiful producer, Stefano Galante, that is working with me in the last 5 albums, and every song takes a new skin, and we find together. He knows my voice very well, and he knows what I love, and so he's able to bring to every song a very different and unique touch. So you still recognize, of course, the original melody because they are so beautiful. You cannot change them, but bring in also our touch. So I'm very happy of this last album where you can find really the classical, beautiful songs like When You Wish Upon a Star or Top Gun, Calling You, Once Upon a Time in the West, Over the Rainbow, Love is a Many Splendid Thing. So it's really one of my favorite albums, probably, because as I told you before, I saw this movie when I was young and I was living in Italy. And at the time, I didn't even know that I wanted to become a singer. And I didn't even know that I had a voice. So it's just like traveling in the time through this memory and now be able to record this music and make them eternal in my way. It's a special, special gift to be able to just be timeless with this wonderful music.
I like that imagery that you used, Georgia, because I feel like some songs, they're so tied to a moment in your life. You just sing them and it all comes back. You did something kind of unique with this album. So you covered a couple of the songs more than once in more than one language. So how was that when you were approaching them in the different languages?
You know, every language gives to the voice a different color, I find. I also live in Canada, in Montreal, where we have so many languages. You know, we live in a province that is French, and so I have a beautiful French audience, but they love me to hear my voice in Italian. That is the most natural for me. But I also have many people from an English market, and so we were able to touch all these colors, but in the same time know that music is just universal and it goes beyond the language and understanding of the words. It's just a feeling and an emotion.
Yeah. Holly, so tell us, you mentioned that you had a background in musical theater, and this song obviously called on that a little bit. So how do you kind of approach that when you see a song from a different genre? Do you like decide you're going to use one or other part of your voice?
I mean, with that, I think I said last time we spoke, I like to tell stories, and my brain starts ticking over. What's the story with this one? What are we creating? Because I want there to be a reason why I'm singing it and where it's going, and a journey. So I mean, for me to switch into sort of singing musical theatre, that's something that I've always been able to do. So in terms of approach, it's probably even more natural for me, because I started out as a sort of a musical theatre singer, so it's sort of the voice that I guess I probably identify with first, and then I learnt, I trained and grew my skills in opera and classical singing. But I think I was always singing. I mean, I was always belting out the tunes in my living room, age 11, So I think that was sort of a natural thing for me. But yeah, I think when I approach I Am What I Am, the first thing I do is I'll start whirring round in my head the cogs, thinking, what's the story with this? Where are we going? What are we trying to create? And I'll talk it out with somebody. So that then it kind of then makes sense in my head of what I'm trying to create. And then as I speak it, it then sort of comes to life. And then I can see a beginning, sort of middle and end. And I mean, without going too much into the video, that's kind of, how I developed the video then, because there is a story that sort of occurs, that I hope people can see when they watch it.
Well, actually, let's talk about the video a little bit more, and then Giorgia will talk about yours too, because I just watched one for Always, and then I believe you're in the studio filming another. So Holly, for this video, tell us about the people that were in it. Were they friends of yours? Were they actors? How did that come about?
Okay, so one was my partner playing the guitar.
Nice.
So he had no choice. He had a cameo in it. He was going to be in it. And then some were, because I teach, so some were parents of children I teach and their children. I had two younger dancers that I know that were able to be in it as well. So friends really of mine. And then the videographer, but shout out to Callum Prince, because he's my video man, but his dad was happy to do it as well. And one of my other friends too. So I sort of recruited them all just to come aboard. His dad actually is an actor. So I did have, one official actor. But the rest, we created such a lovely environment in the studio when we did it. So, we had confetti cannons for the children. And, I was sort of like, I turned into like director behind the camera, and I was trying to get everyone's energy going, because a lot of them weren't necessarily natural, like, behind the camera kind of people. But what they achieved, I thought was brilliant. And what I wanted was it to be real and to appear natural and genuine with them. So I think we achieved that with them. And then the dancers, I mean, they were amazing. They're quite young, but they're really, really super talented. So I was lucky to have them in the video, really.
That's awesome. I just want to give a shout out. I forgot to do it at the beginning, but to the listeners, if you guys have a question, you can certainly pop it in the chat and we'll see if we can get to it. We have Tuomo, who's one of our Patreons on, David, and also Hazel Clark. I believe that's probably someone related to you, Holly. So welcome, everyone. Definitely leave comments. And now, Giorgia, if I can ask you the same question about your For Always video. Tell us, it looked like it was freezing, but maybe not.
Yeah, For Always is an amazing, beautiful song from John Williams, and we recorded in the snow outside of where I live in Canada, and it was not super cold. I mean, it can be colder here. So we just wanted to have this effect, all this white and pure, and it was kind of like a magical day. Again, with my producer Stefano Galante, we did it. And our latest one, Over the Rainbow, we just wanted to recreate almost the other world, because one time I had a dream of my grandmother that she passed away, and when she came in my dreams, she brought me near a window, and over the window there was this nature all full of colors. And Over the Rainbow, for me, it's just like this world so close to us. And in this video, we were able to film in nature, in a very simple field, and then to play with all these colors. And it just makes me feel so good that I had difficulty to come out from the video and to live in our material world, that sometimes it can be very heavy. So we just try to recreate this magical world that music makes me feel. That is so close to ours, probably in our imagination or inside of us. And it's like I feel this when I sing, and now with the images, we try to recreate the same. Very simple, but also very magical, I think.
Do you have any idea for the people watching when the video will come out?
Over the Rainbow was just released like
Okay.
1 month ago, and now we are working on another one, and it's a beautiful time of creation where, you know, music is always the main star, but if you can give some images that can also inspire the vision, I think it goes very nicely together.
Yeah.
And it will be next month probably.
Next month. Okay, great. Well, we'll all be looking out for that. I'm curious, obviously we have people that watch this that are just fans of the genre, but I think there's also other musicians that listen to it. So I'm curious for both of you, either with this recording project or other things you've done, do you have maybe a tip you can say? Maybe it's like a distributor that was easier to work with than others, or, you know, just maybe a word of advice for anyone else that's trying to produce music right now.
A good question. You know, I'm doing this job that I don't call it job, actually. It's my passion, and I'm very lucky from the last 20 years. When I left Italy, I'm supporting my family that is quite big now. I have 4 kids. I'm supporting my family through music. So it's quite a luxury, I think. And sometimes it can be a stress. But it's important never to forgive the passion and the respect of music, despite what the business is, because I think that this can be the challenge when you use your talent and it becomes a profession. Because, you know, for the ego, it's never enough. You sing in front of 10,000 and you want more and more and more and more. And, you know, you can't feed that. It's important to stay grounded in the luxury of doing the music. So I think that is a very important thing to remember. After 20 years, I'm doing it. You know, the business can change, and the people, not everyone that gives you an advice are right. It's important to find a good team. My husband is my manager from the last 20 years, and my producer of my album. It's family for me, and it's important to have the right people around you that knows you and respect you, to respect yourself, because you don't want to lose the first important things, that you are able to do music. I don't know if I express myself properly. I want to say that, you know, some young musician or singers, just to be really grateful that they can do music, that they're an instrument to do the music. And then if life arrange that becomes a profession, good. But it's to be always in the respect of our own talent, I think.
Thank you for that, Giorgia. How about you, Holly?
Yeah, I agree. Actually, everything that George was saying there. I always sort of try to encourage myself, my own thoughts, and other, friends of mine who are also musicians, to remember why it is that you do what you do. Because, if you can remind yourself, I sing or I play or whatever because I love doing that, and because, I want to share that with people, then I think it doesn't matter where you are performing, whether you're performing on a big stage or just in front of a small audience. I actually had one, I remember a couple of months ago now, I was performing, and in a smaller venue, and a lady approached me and she said, you know, it doesn't matter if I had seen you on a stage in a big show or I've seen you here this evening. What you've done for me is you've given me that wherever I would have seen you, so I think it's important to as George was saying, like, if you ground yourself and you say, well, look, what I'm doing, I'm performing and sharing something, and that's fantastic, and it's something that I really enjoy. I think that's that's kind of key, and it's harder as you go along. As you get older, I think you have to keep telling yourself that. But in terms of what you were saying about producing or recording, my tip would be to, I mean, this is personal for me, but maybe it works for other people as well, would be to record just 1 or 2 takes and then leave it alone. Because I just don't think that doing things over and over and over again, you'll achieve what you want, because the energy that you create in the first and second time is usually, that's fresh, isn't it? So that would be my advice, my recording tip.
Is not to do it too much. Find your balance and don't go over it. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I think if you do go over it, you can just lose the flow, or you can lose what you intended to do with it, because you're now obsessing over things that you weren't happy with before.
Yeah.
So I think you should just accept the flaws and just go with it, because the flaws are genuine,
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because I feel like for myself, when I've done recordings and it ends up being the same areas over and over again, and you're like, you came into the studio with this, so that's how you're just going to sound. But yeah, no, thanks for saying that, Holly. We do have a question that's coming through. I'll put it on the screen. So it is from Giorgia Fan, KB78. And it says, calling you is so beautiful and haunting, from the wonderful but not well-known film Baghdad Cafe. How did you find this song?
Oh, me and Stefano, we really went through many songs, and we have a very long list. And I'm not a very young girl either, so I have a lot of years of listening, even when I was not a singer. I think probably I heard this song, as I said, in my previous life, when I was not a professional singer. I discovered my voice at 16 years old. So I had 16 years of life where I was just wondering why I was on earth. and the movie, especially this particular different movie, they were really make me traveling, and some of them really impact me. And then when I discovered after that I had a voice, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can try to do it. And I heard also beautiful singers like Celine Dion doing this song in the last 10-15 years, and finally we decided to do it because it's a little bit crossover song, very pop in the low part, and then I was able to fly in the chorus and make it my own. So I really love that song too, and we are planning another video very soon. We love to do the videos too.
That's awesome. So definitely, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to Giorgia's YouTube channel and Holly's as well for more good content. Hollie, I'm also curious because you started your own opera company. So can you tell us, do you guys have any new productions coming out or concerts?
Yeah. So if anyone is watching from Cardiff or local, or you fancy making a trip all the way from Canada, you can come and see on the 16th of July. We are doing so we're doing our inaugural production. What we've decided to do is some scenes.
Oh, lovely.
The way that the scenes are working is that I've not seen things done like this so much before, but we've written a script that's an original script that tells a story that's narrating in between each scene, that fluidly connects each scene to one another, even though they're from different operas. And the narrators are coming from the actual singers themselves. So the script will be spoken by, or the text will be spoken by the performers, and it's very immersive. We want to make it accessible. It's pay what you can. We just would like people to come and support it, and support the amazing artists, because the artists that we have involved are all opera singers, professional, doing this, and fantastic. So yeah, we really would just love people to come. We want to attract audiences who are perhaps the audience that wouldn't normally go to see something like opera, because they think, whatever reason, they decide in their head, okay, this is not for me, and we want to kind of show them, actually, yes, it can be for you. And we've got some of my students are coming who are really young, and I want to encourage them to really enjoy it, and that's why we're making it immersive, so that the performers will be sat around and inside the audience, so nice. It'll be a real experience for the audience, that they feel like they're involved in the production. So yeah. Oh, that is called what is it called? Tales of Love, Lust and Loss. There we are. Tales of Love, Lust and Loss. It's on the 16th of July in Llanover Hall Theatre in Cardiff.
Well, definitely send me a poster, Holly. We'll put it on our socials as well. I love the idea of creating a story. I don't know if you guys saw Singing in the Rain, but that's kind of what I discovered. I thought all those songs were originally written for that film, but they pulled them from different musicals. And also Moulin Rouge, that's what they do now in that musical. They've pulled pop songs, all these different things, and they've created their own story. I think it's a really brilliant way to introduce people to a lot of different material. So lots of luck with that, Holly. I'm just going to quickly, I've tried to do rapid rounds in the past, hasn't gone so well. So what we're going to try today, which is new, is this or that. So if you guys can tell me which of these two things you would prefer, it's some fun questions here. So to kick us off, we have coffee or tea?
Tea. I'm a strange Italian. I don't like coffee.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you would have said coffee. I should say tea, but actually neither.
Okay. So
what do you drink? Is it a smoothie or?
No, so it is tea, I guess, but it's herbal tea. So I like lemon and ginger tea. That's my favorite.
Got it. A beach vacation or a mountain retreat?
I live in a mountain, so I love to go to the beach.
Okay.
I can.
I think it depends on my mood, but I think, being an Aquarius, I like to be by the water, so I'd say the beach as well.
Beach. Pizza or burger?
Pizza for sure.
Pizza.
Dogs or cats?
Oh, cats. I have, yes, cats. Yep.
Oh, how many do you have?
3.
3. Awesome.
I had both. I had 2 cats and 1 dog. Now the 2 cats left because they were too old, and so now dog, but both are nice too.
Reading a book or watching a movie?
If I will have time, will be very nice, but with 4 kids, I'm not for one, not for the other. But I like to watch beautiful movie, not very easy to find, but I love movies.
Yeah, movies too. I'd like to find more time to read, but movies, yeah.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I used to devour books as a kid, but now it's like, if it's anything, it's audiobooks. Okay, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night.
Depends. Again, sorry. I'm
You have kids, so you kind of have to be whatever they wake up.
Before having kids, I was a night person. Now with the schooling and everything, I'm still a night person, but I can't. So.
You're forced to be a morning person.
Yeah, I will be more night, but I can't. So.
You have to do both. You've got to do both, right? Yeah.
Okay, last question in this set. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer, and I live in Canada, like 8 months of winter. So
Is it quite long winter time in Canada?
yes, very long, like 7 months.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, we did just have quite a cold, long
Yes.
winter here, but now we're having some nice warm weather. But and the problem with the UK is that people complain if it's cold and they complain if it's hot. So I'm not happy with either temperature. But I got to say summer. Yeah.
I will be summer too. Yeah.
So this is not a short question. It might be hard to pick, but is there one song or one album that you kind of find yourself going back to again and again because it just picks you up and brings you joy?
Of our album or in general?
Just someone else that you like to listen to, like a soundtrack or...
Yeah.
It's hard to choose.
Hard to choose one, isn't it? It's choose one.
Very hard.
Do you know, I think actually what George was saying earlier about Summer of the Rainbow, when I was like 6 years old, I remember watching Wizard of Oz and watching Judy Garland sing that song. And that was one of the reasons I remember as a child thinking, I want to sing. So, yeah, I think that is just such a beautiful song, isn't it? That you know, it's so iconic and everybody loves that song. So I think, yeah, that's a good one to choose, I guess.
I mean, in my case, there are many, but, you know, Disney song, I love them. Like, yeah, many old classicals, Disney song, like When You Wish Upon a Star is definitely one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, so many beautiful memories. I think it also depends on the mood, right? What do you want? Because I'm thinking, and Anna Hawkins, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but she did this song called Bold, Brave, and Beautiful. And I think it has these lyrics about like, there's no expiring date on me. So whenever I'm feeling down, I just, I go to that piece and it just gives you hope, you know, like just to keep going. Final question for both of you. What is the next thing you guys are going to be doing? Is it, you know, maybe you mentioned the concert and the video, but is there anything else coming up?
I'm still in Canada, and this weekend I will go in an island here in Canada. I will have a concert in outside a patio on the water. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And then next Sunday I have another concert. We just came from Arizona where I was performing, and here in Canada. Then after this I take a little break. I'm going to Europe with my kids, and then back in Canada for more concerts. So it's a nice time of music, but I also want to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
Come to Wales.
Very busy.
Come to Wales. Come to
I
Europe.
would love to.
Come to Wales. Yeah. So I have the opera concert. I'm doing a recital this weekend as part of a little flower festival. And they themed the flowers around different musicals and things like this. So I've then tied in some of my repertoire choices to fit with the flower arrangements. Yeah, so that's cool. And then I am doing some more recording. So after the opera scenes, we're doing some more recording, recording a new EP, which I said I was going to be doing at the beginning of the year. But this involves a collaboration with a couple of musicians. So I'm excited about that. So there's going to be, that's going to be filmed with violin and some other instruments too. Then I'm doing a couple more collaborations actually with Hannah, if you remember Hannah.
That's working. That's going to happen. That's exciting.
Yeah, Hannah and I are doing that. We've been chatting. And also another really cool baritone, Josh Hen. We're doing a duet together remotely. He's all the way in the States as well. So there's lots of these recordings coming up, which will sort of come out later on in the year.
It's really exciting. And you will also be in our movies and musicals concert, Holly.
Oh, yes.
So we haven't officially announced the date, but you'll be in that. We're excited to have you. Georgia, anytime, please come join our concert series as well. I'm just going to one last time put your album's covers up here on the screen. So where can we get these? Is it on Spotify, or do you have physical copies also on your website?
Yeah, of course, Spotify, iTunes, every digital. You can find it in all digital platforms, on my website too, and everywhere you can find music.
And it's just GiorgiaFumanti.com?
Yes.
Perfect. So that will be in the link in the description. And Holly, for yourself?
Exactly the same. Yeah, Spotify, all of the streaming platforms, and then on YouTube, obviously, as well. My website, which is new actually, because I did have a website address before, but now it's been up and running since the beginning of May. So that's my name, hollieanneclark.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. I always love doing the one-on-ones, but these are also very fun doing the new releases chats and then getting to have different people and different opinions. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat.
Thank you.
Everyone, please support them. And I look forward to doing it again very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you. And everybody should also support you because you also have a really beautiful voice.
Oh,
so
thank you,
this is a shout out for Natasha too, because I listened to you the other day and I just thought, wow, you were singing some Mozart. So yeah, and all the support that you give everybody is just amazing. So I'm sure I'm not just speaking on behalf of me here, but I just think you're fab. So yeah, big shout out to you too.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. And everyone watching, Classical Crossover Magazine is also launching our first Young Artist competition. So stay tuned. Those details will be coming tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Do I just